Hello everyone, it is Republic Studs, and today we are back at it again with my LEGO Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back set ideas video. Now this quite possibly has been the hardest movie to come up with set ideas for. Now the reason being because LEGO has literally made nearly every single scene and every single ship from The Empire Strikes Back movie. The entire Battle of Hoth was made. Pretty much everything along those lines has been made. Bespin, they've made almost everything for. So this was a really difficult, but we did come up with some pretty good ideas, and there are about 3 big ships that they haven't made any interpretation of, so I'm excited to get into all of those. But before we do, I'm going to ask you all to smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. It'll help me out a metric ton, and just have a asteroid go and hit that button, make it blue. And yeah, now let's get right on into the ideas. Let's go. Now first up, this is a new one, but I'm going to be starting with an 18 plus set. And this is going to be the Darth Vader's Command Bridge at $79.99. It would be much in the same style as the Darth Vader's Meditation Chamber. It would be basically a little depiction of him at the front window of the bridge. You could have the two, pocket areas where the clones, or not clones, the officers sit in, and I think that would be really cool. You have the little bridge, it didn't have to go out too far, but it would be a nice area. You could have Darth Vader, interacting with his officers. You'd have like 1 or 2 officers come in that set, as well as Darth Vader, and it would continue the line of those 18 plus sets that, kind of go along the lines of around famous locations Darth Vader's been in, basically. This probably would be like the 3rd one, and I thought that was just an interesting idea. Now, let's move into the next one. Now, the next one is pretty simple. It would be a Boba Fett's Slave 1 microfighter. Now, we have not gotten a Slave 1 microfighter yet. Now, I would propose this in, say, a Mandalorian set ideas video. But I thought, it would work for the Empire Strikes Back 2. I really don't know. I'm pretty sure there was a plan this year that they were going to release one, but it might have been delayed, and I actually think it was delayed to next year. So, it's very likely we're going to get a Boba Fett Slave 1 next year, because they're like, oh, we could squeeze in the new Boba Fett minifigure in there because they're doing the Book of Boba Fett show. But I had a feeling that would have happened this year, if not for obviously this mistake. So it's likely going to happen in 2022. Just not Empire Strikes Back theme. But this would, if it was the Empire Strikes Back, come with the Empire Strikes Boba. Nothing else other than that is too insane. But next up, we have a pretty big $100 set. Now this would be the Rebel GR-75 cruiser. Now this is the transport ship you see in a lot of mediums of Star Wars. Namely, you see it in Star Wars Rebels, you see it in The Empire Strikes Back, and you see it in Return of the Jedi, and Rogue One, obviously. And these would basically be in the same style as the Resistance ITS transport in terms of size and scope. And you would get a Rebel pilot, 2 Hoth Rebel minifigures, because that is the planet it escapes off of, and Princess Leia, for good measure. I think you'd do the Hoth Princess Leia, maybe include even a new hair mold. I believe Firestar Toys made a cool looking Leia. But that is really neat. I would really like to see this ship. Obviously, I am a big guy for the Rebel fleet. They have made very few amounts of ships for the Rebel fleet, unlike, especially in Episode 6, but a lot in Episode 5 too. And it would be awesome to see. I'd really like to see this. It would be a great little set to get. Maybe a Gonk droid in there too. And I'd just really be happy to see. Now next up after that, we have a mainline playset at $50. This would be the TIE Bomber set. Now the minifigures that include in here are a TIE pilot, an officer, and a stormtrooper. Nothing exciting. Obviously the TIE Bomber you can't really do that much with. Maybe you do a named officer. I really don't know. But you do remember these from the time they bombed the comets that Han was hiding in, and we have not gotten any in LEGO yet. Like, even in playset form, in the last, 20 years, we got one in the first year of LEGO Star Wars, but I kind of, am skeptical to even call it a LEGO Star Wars set, because it was just so, primitive, and it came, in this, one little tiny thing. It came in this little tiny, collector's pack. I hesitate to say we even got that one realistically, but it is cool nonetheless, and I would really like to see a full official $50 set of the TIE Bomber. Now, next up, after that, I would like to see a helmet set of the Snowtrooper. Now, this is the only main Imperial Trooper from the original trilogy we have not gotten in the helmet set form. I think it's for a good reason, because the Snowtrooper kind of looks like he would cause, terrorism or something. He doesn't look like great, like from outside reasons. But I think that would be an appropriate one for them to do. I mean, I know One Stud has done the Galactic Marines, which are very similar. I don't know if it would look like this or if it would look different. I know it would be a little hard to do, so it would be a little on the pricier side of helmet sets. So maybe $69.99 to $79.99, you know, just because it is so different. And I'd really like to see it. I personally probably wouldn't even pick it up, but you know, if you want to complete the line of Imperial helmets for the original trilogy, that is certainly the way to do it. Now, next up, we have another 18+ set. Now, this is Han Solo's Cockpit. And I think this would honestly be a fantastic one. $69 to $70. You get a full depiction, like minifigure scale, accurate version of Han Solo's, you know, cockpit of the Millennium Falcon. You get Han, Princess Leia, Chewbacca, and C-3PO. And you could get all the control panels. And I think this would also be great for kids. Because I remember the big problem I had with my Millennium Falcon is I always wanted to fit all my characters in. And, you know, in the Falcon, they actually, like, have, like, real seats and real, like, control panels. And in the Lego one, like, you get this tiny little section. Even in the UCS Falcon, it is not entirely accurate. You don't get the chairs. You don't get all of that. And I think if you just did this big model, I believe they did one in a promo set for Solo. But even that was a little on the smaller end. But it is still cool nonetheless, and I would really love to see LEGO do something along those lines. Run into and he got shot by stormtroopers and then sent later on into this droid repair room. The figures I would include are Chewbacca, and he would have the ability, so I don't know if they'd make a new mold for this, to hold the C-3PO parts on his back. I think that would be fantastic. I'd love that. You'd also get an Ugnaught, which would be really cool. And if you were pushing it, you could get that silver droid that C-3PO wanted to, you know, talk to in The Empire Strikes Back. I think you would include that in there. It would look much like TC-14. Maybe even the same figure. I don't know if that's even the same character. Maybe it is. And, you know, we get a variety of droid parts. Maybe a small little conveyor belt. It would be, you know, kind of in the same style as the Armorer's Mandalorian Forge. And you'd have, like, a little conveyor belt, like, to go into, like, a little flame room or whatever. Like, that would be really cool. And you could have Chewbacca go in there. I think that would be a fun little build. I don't believe in the Bespin set we got the droid repair room. But we might have. I honestly don't know. Now, let's move into the next one. Now, this next one is a Nebulon B playset style set. So, not a UCS one, but a playset style capital ship. Now, this would be around $149. It would come with Luke, Leia, C-3PO, R2-D2, a medical droid, Lando in his, you know, Han Solo attire with the same clothes as where he's wearing Han Solo's clothes, and Chewbacca. I think this would be great. You get the little medical bay in there. It would be really cool. And then you could also theoretically make this a UCS set. If they only had to include 2 figures, I'd say the medical droid would be great. And then maybe Luke in his, you know, robes or whatever. I think that would be cool. You know, if they're going to do 2 figures, that would be neat. Obviously, you know, 2 of those are a must. And, you know, $349.99. And around $350, same kind of price as the UCS gunship, I feel would be a fair price for that. You know, you could even see this maybe is an in-between as a Master Builder Series set. I'm not 100% sure they did do the Corellian freighter, or the Tantive 4, in the Master Builder Series size, but hey, whatever. Now, next up, we have a Cloud Car mainline set. Now, we've gotten lots of micro Cloud Cars and them getting featured in Bespin, but we haven't gotten a full Cloud Car set. Some people like to call it the Clown Car because it looks dumb. But this would be great. It would obviously come with Lando, Lobot, a great set to finally bring Lobot back into. They probably use the same print for the back of the head as Echo. And it would come with the Bespin pilots, because they do come with the pilots. We've gotten those in the Bespin, you know, Master Builder Series set. We've gotten those in Advent calendars. I actually have like 2 of them, which is kind of weird considering I don't even own a clown car. Now, anyway, that would be around $30, and I think that would be a nice, cool little one. Now, finally up, we have UCS TIE Bomber. And I think it would be simple. You could even include just 1 figure in it, like the TIE Fighter, include a little TIE Bomber pilot. Maybe you'd include an officer in there. I really don't know. You can include Vader. But that would be a nice, neat little set, and I'd be certainly very happy to see it. But with that said, that is my Empire Strikes Back LEGO Star Wars set ideas. I know it is not a lot, and it's very small because LEGO has made so many Empire Strikes Back things. And, you know, it might even get a little worse with Return of the Jedi, but hopefully not as bad because there are still some ships that haven't been made. The 3 main ones here are obviously the Bomber, the Nebulon B, and the GR-75. Those are the main 3 I would love to see if any of these had to be made. And certainly the Han Solo's Cockpit one would be really fun, which we technically again got as a promo set, but I'd like to see as a full main release 18+ set, and that would just be great. But with that said, I want to hear your ideas for Empire Strikes Back sets down below. Remember to like, subscribe, hit the bell, and do all the other things. I'll see you on the next one. Remember to peace out, and stay awesome.